Saurabh, we've talked about data, how AI is having an impact. What do you do with analytics? But on the other side, you talk majorly about, marketing. Diome, your organization primarily works towards supporting the omni-channel, growth for the business. Your podcast, Dil Se Omni, is again talking about the growth stories, the success stories around the omni channel, and obviously with the use of data analytics and AI. So let's delve a bit deep into marketing and the kind of use cases that you've seen as yet, wherein these new tools, the analytics, and for that matter some of these AI tools, how are they having an impact? How are they changing the way marketing is seen by the business? Obviously, about every business wants to grow. Growth is expensive, and marketing is the area wherein you end up spending a lot of money, specifically where you are dealing with an end customer, right?
So there are two things which are happening, Arun. One is the customer journey is changing a lot. Okay, it's not that I go to a store, I buy and then I go away. Okay, so earlier the company used to only know the person purchasing. अगर उसका phone number लिया तभी पता चलेगा, नहीं तो कौन आके चले गया पता ही नहीं चलेगा. Now people go, they see a reel, they will look at it, they will click, they will then forget, then there will be a retargeting व्हाट्सएप विच इज़ कमिंग, देन यू से अच्छा चलो देखता हूँ, फिर ऑफलाइन में कहीं स्टोर पे जाके खरीदेगा और नहीं खरीदेगा, फिर से जाएगा मिंत्रा पे जाके खरीद लिया. सो द कस्टमर जर्नी इज़ वेरी ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन ऑफलाइन ऑनलाइन मार्केट प्लेस, तो पूरा कॉन्वोल्यूटेड जर्नी है. The good part is at least the customer journey, some part is digitized and available for the brand. So if you understand the way customer is moving, all these platforms provide a way to market to them, whether it's on Google ads, whether it's on meta ads, whether it's on marketplace ads. You can target them and bring them back on the course. Okay, if you have the data about the person who's visiting, even better, you have the direct customer control. So omni-channel to me is customer changing behavior and using marketing to drive. Now if you look at how marketing has changed over the last 2 decades, पहले most of the marketing was brand marketing. Okay, you run money on TV and print, and then you pray to God कि आपका campaign successful हो जाएगा. But now, and if I tell you there is about $1 trillion spent in marketing worldwide, and 70% is on digital medium. So what it means, you spend on anything which can be measured. Everything on digital is measurable. Okay. So if you can measure marketing, okay, you can figure out what was the impact of the campaign with some KPIs. Okay, earlier there was a famous saying that 50% of my marketing does not result is waste. I don't know which 50% it is. Now the good part is you have 70% measurable. Okay, how we put that to action is a key influence which is happening. So use measurement of marketing on one end, and then use the omni-channel customer journey, and then see how you can influence it. So this is the area we work in. The other piece which I generally tell people is earlier all marketing was paid. Okay, today a person can go and create a good channel on YouTube or in Instagram or Facebook. By posting good content, can create great distribution and drive sales without spending a dime on anything. So today the biggest thing is content. Now content has been democratized. Okay, and the platform is there. Now you can boost your content by throwing money. So the maximum amount of money anytime is spent in distribution. So I generally say there is a approach which I say is a CDA approach. C is the content, where you create a lot of content, reels, blogs, videos, carousels, and then put in. Okay, then you spend money. Generally people spend money on distribution, but can you leverage organic to distribute? Okay, can you throw interesting content which people are interested in, people would share, people would say, people would like, and once people love your content, it will come back. They'll come back. And if you throw good content which is performing, and then you put money onto it, that will even take it next level. And then the final A is the action. Okay, action is what do you want them to do? Do you want them to come to the store? Do you want them to visit a website? Do you want them to download an app? And when you do all these three things or in a decent manner, all of this starts giving you good results. ट्रेडिशनल कंपनी स्टिल थिंक कि मनी इट्स ओनली ब्रांड, मेरे को एक सलमान खान शाहरुख खान लाना है एंड देन ब्रांड मार्केटिंग करनी है, जरूरी है, बट फॉर एवरी बिजनेस इट्स नॉट रिक्वायर्ड.
That is there. So effectively you are talking about being in a situation wherein um, somebody who's trying to build a brand or reaching out to customer, he'll be talking to a distribution channel in the form of a Meta or a Google to be the enabler to be able to distribute his content. At the same point in time, the content has to be built in such a manner that it has a longer shelf life.
Yeah, so shelf life na, as a topic, YouTube has a longer shelf life, Instagram has a shorter shelf life. But whether your content worked or didn't work, it will be coming out from कि अच्छा इसका ऑर्गेनिक रीच कितना था, ऑर्गेनिक इंप्रेशन कितना था, एंगेजमेंट कितना था. अगर आपको वो पता चल गया, नाउ यू कैन देन स्टार्ट प्लेइंग अराउंड विद इट. देन यू थ्रो अच्छा ये वर्क किया है, इसको डबल डाउन कर दो.
Yes, and it's a beautiful play because in multiple businesses in our D2C, focused business in Zotter, wherein we help businesses, set up their D2C brands. This is one area wherein our experts also focus a lot, which is majorly about not just making sure that your, ROAS is very high or at least acceptable for, the digital spend, the social media spend, but more about whether the story is acceptable, whether the story is something that can actually help you grow, organically. So I'm completely with you on that.
Yeah. So I'll take an example of a brand. It's a brand of kids tiffin box, bento box करके है. And generally kids tiffin box आप कितने का खरीदोगे? 500-600 रुपए का. वो बेचते हैं 2100 रुपए का, 2100 rupees. Okay, but it's a very amazing tiffin box. Properly seal हो जाता है. प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है टिफिन में, आप दाल या कुछ लिक्विड नहीं डालते क्योंकि स्पिल हो जाएगा, मिक्स हो जाएगा, तो आप जनरली सूखी सब्जी, रोटी या सैंडविचेस या नूडल्स वगैरह रखते हो. बट दे हैव डन इज दे हैव क्रिएटेड लाइक दैट जापानीज बेंटो बॉक्स, वो क्लियर. नाउ इतना एक्सपेंसिव बेचना बहुत मुश्किल है. ओके, सो व्हाट दे स्टार्टेड डूइंग, देयर द फाउंडर स्टार्टेड रनिंग क्रिएटेड कंटेंट, मल्टीपल थिंग्स, कभी कुछ किया कभी कुछ किया, बट दे स्टम्बल्ड अपॉन कि द प्रॉब्लम इज डिसाइडिंग व्हाट टू पुट इन द टिफिन एवरी मॉर्निंग. ओके, तो दे स्टार्टेड क्रिएटिंग दैट इंटरेस्टिंग रील, और उसमें दिखा देते हैं एंड में कि अच्छा उन्होंने पैक किया, और फिर पैक करने के बाद टिफिन गिर गया, फिर उठाया देखा सब ठीक है, एंड देन दे स्टार्टेड. सो दिस आफ्टर रनिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट दे रियलाइज कि जस्ट पुटिंग कंटेंट अबाउट इंटरेस्टिंग टिफिन रेसिपीज फॉर किड्स इज अ ग्रेट थिंग. वो एक्सपेरिमेंट से आया एंड देन दे स्केल्ड अप. नाउ द फाउंडर्स डोंट डू, दे हैव रन वेरी गुड इन्फ्लुएंसर मार्केटिंग कैंपेन, अब वो हर जगह अवेलेबल है. तो कंटेंट plus distribution drives action, and you keep measuring what works.
Right. So sort of when we are talking about content, and actually, there is always this thought that, marketing is something which is very prominently used in a D2C business or a B2C business. But at the same point in time, B2B is also, business. For example, a consulting business, right? Is also a business wherein they need a cycle. They need a framework wherein they are able to reach out to their business, their target business, their potential clients on a regular basis. And there as well, I think content is something that can actually help a big time.
Yeah. So I would say in B2B, the content distribution and action is more easy. Okay, because people are always trying to search. Okay, and when somebody searches, the probability of conversion is higher than discovery. अगर मुझे बेंटो बॉक्स की रील देख के करना है तो, बट B2B में क्या है, people might be looking in कि I am looking for somebody, they might say P2B का
a virtual CFO for example,
a virtual CFO, उनको शायद solution भी ना पता हो, उनको पता होगा कि मैं P2B के प्रॉब्लम से जा रहा हूँ. अब if you are creating content, okay, you might write an article on how you have helped people solve a P2B problem or a cash flow problem or an inventory management problem or different things. And there is this guy named Alex Homozy. He talks a lot about content driven marketing framework. वो कहता है, if you are not sharing everything what you have learned and what you do, you're not sharing enough. अगर इतना ही easy है पढ़ के करना तो सब कर लेंगे, चैट जीपीटी भी है, बट अगर आपने अच्छे से शेयर किया, somebody might discover you and come back.
Yes.
And that is what I also try. I have almost done in the last 2 years 125 blogs now. But what I've seen, today I was talking to a company who we were talking, and he said, Saurabh, we have read 6-7 of your blogs, and exactly that problem आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू.
Yeah.
तो मेरा अप्रोच क्या था कि मैं गया इस क्लाइंट के साथ, उसने बोला ये वाला क्वेश्चन है, मैंने उसके ऊपर एक लिंक्डइन पोस्ट बना दिया, एक ये कर दिया. तो B2B के लिए ईजी है क्योंकि यू आर डीलिंग विद 10-20 प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट्स, यू राइट डाउन कंटेंट, क्रिएट वीडियोज, रन पॉडकास्ट, शेयर योर लर्निंग्स. If they find you interesting, they will call you for a conversation.
Right. And
Getting discovery is the biggest thing to go for.
and this is one area where a lot of people are not actually doing a lot. So
Yeah.
there is a huge opportunity lying there.